The Dan Yorke State of Mind program is brought to you in part by Lookout Rhode Island and Takeo Comfort Solutions.
Good evening and welcome to my State of Mind. I am Dan Yorke. We're in the pause. For some, it doesn't mean much. For those who own gyms, it means a lot. And that doesn't just mean workout gyms. It's fitness centers, specialty exercise businesses, cycling. In fact, tonight we will meet two business owners who are in that category, who are paused, who don't know and haven't had any word on whether they're receiving any pause grant money, and are pretty frustrated with the situation. First, I remind you of the story we last filed on the governor's discussion of the pause and the small business response to it.
I'm one catastrophe away from a complete disaster.
For years, Robert Foster has helped people strive for greatness both in the gym and in life.
And we feel we're being unfairly targeted.
Health is important to him, which he says only proves he's been playing by all the rules.
I see maybe 50 people a week, but the mall can have 7,000 per day. So how are we the problem?
So how are fitness facilities the problem? That's the question he wants clearly answered by the governor. The extended pause keeps places like gyms and pools closed until at least December 21st.
And now going into our busiest quarter of the year, you're taking it away from us. And for no reason, like there's no information. She just says we have data. Show us.
The elephant in the room is like, what about everyone else? You're acting a select group to go to week 3. What about the larger group at home?
Similar frustrations are shared by John Heelan, owner of Ripple's Swim School in both Bristol and West Warwick. He also believes he can operate safely and questions if other businesses who are open right now can say the same thing.
The air turn rate inside a public pool, a licensed public pool, is better than anything you're going to see in any retailer, any big box, anything. That I know.
So if we can submit a plan and show you that we can safely open, we should be allowed to open.
And so we talked to more small business owners. It's something that we have been doing all through this pandemic, and we're really at crunch time, as I said, to open the show. We're in a position now where it is the check in the mail. The old phrase is really pertinent to these two business owners who have been paused and who are hoping to be compensated for the pause, because that was the, promise from the governor. Nothing like getting fit. Jaime Sweeney is the owner of Pure Barre, and she can be found at purebarre.com. That's B-A-R-R-E. She'll explain. And Krystal Toro is with SoFit Cycle, both entrepreneurs, both running businesses that are here to make you better. Good evening to both of you. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
You're part of the Small Business Coalition. You were on the radio with me yesterday explaining this grant process and what you've been experiencing and perhaps frustrated by. Before we get into the nuances of what you're trying to accomplish via the grant program and what you need, a little background on your businesses would be helpful. So we'll start up at the top. Jaime, explain what your business does and what the nature of it is when we deal with this whole pause thing in, the category of industry.
Yes, absolutely. So we are a barre fitness studio. I actually opened the first dedicated barre fitness studio in the state just about 7.5 years ago with my mom, Leslie. We have another business partner, Sarah. We focus really on small isometric movements to create a low impact exercise that is also highly effective. So low impact, but still very intense in terms of the workout that you're getting.
Okay. And Krystal, you got people on the bikes, right?
We do, yes. So it's like church and the nightclub kind of all in one, we like to say it. We are in a dark room. The lighting is just on the instructor, and it's a good party in there, Dan, yeah.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm an avid spinner, been spinning for a long time. In fact, in this pandemic, if I don't get, a high intensity 40 minutes on the bike, I'm nuts. So I get exactly the benefit of your business. Uniquely, I think you're probably in a tougher spot because, pre-COVID, my fond memories of spin classes or SoFit Cycle experiences would be that people are pretty close together. You've got folks in a room, it's dark. I mean, there's a lot of sweating going on. There's a lot of mopping up and sanitary behavior that's got to go on in normal times. How did you deal with when you were open, at least for a while?
Yeah.
How did you keep it clean?
Yeah, so you're right. Usually we are close together. There's normally pre-COVID 42 bikes in the room. We're down to 15 right now. We've always been really intense with our cleaning pre-COVID, and now that's even heightened a little bit more, obviously. So right now the bikes are spread out, and there's plexiglass barriers in front of each bike. So cleaning, there's 30 minutes in between each, class, which I think is different. That's why Jaime and I are different with what we do, other than, big box gyms, because we actually have a dedicated time where we stop everything. We clean everything top to bottom. Pretty much a lot of things are contactless. And then we reset and we start class again.
Yeah. Okay. So I doubt that cleaning is like a new experience for you. I mean, people on bikes have a responsibility to kind of wipe down their bikes, but I'm sure between classes you've been doing that anyway as a good business owner. It's really the breathing issues, right? It's the proximity to when people are together and experiencing the exercise together that has been the concern of the health department. So when you spread the bikes out at 15 feet, or I'm sorry, when you knock it down from 42 to 15 bikes, how much space have you been keeping between the bikes?
Yeah, so because there's plexiglass barriers, you are allowed to go to 6 feet, because the key is, Dan, that we can maintain. That's the key word in the executive order, is maintain physical, distancing. We're not moving around. There's not people going from different, bikes or circuit training or anything like that. So you come in, you're staying right on your bike, in Jamie's case, maybe her mat. So we can maintain the distancing.
Okay, all right. So you've got the glass too, which helps. Jaime, you're in your particular situation. Are you in a lot of groups? Or is it a lot of individual training? What happens there?
So we are group fitness. Pre-COVID, we were waitlisted weeks in advance for all of our classes, running 10 classes a day. Our capacity was around 28 to 30 clients in each class. So we were very stacked up next to each other. As we have limited our capacity to 12, which is actually a little bit less than what we were mandated, just because we wanted to be extra safe. We created individual stations that are outlined for clients. So the clients walk in, there's a walking lane, and they are in their station for the duration of their class, as well as fully masked. And that allows them to maintain 8 feet of distance between them and their closest.
All right. So that's the physical plant issues that are involved with these two kinds of fitness companies. When we come back, we'll talk. Obviously, you can do the math. If you had 42 bikes, now 15, or if in Jamie's case, you're knocking down the number of people from 28 to 32 to a lesser amount. It's lesser volume. It means, I'm guessing, lesser revenue. We'll talk about that when we come back. And then we'll discuss what's going on with this pause grant situation and whether or not these two business owners will get what has been promised from the stage. We'll be right back on My State of Mind. Stay with us. To My State of Mind, we have two business owners here who are paused, and we're hoping that the pause is over come December 21st. Compensation for the pause is our conversation now. Jaime Sweeney owns a company called Pure Barre, B-A-R-R-E. By the way, bar means what? Is that an exercise term that gets gotten by?
It's for we use the ballet bar. So B-A-R-R-E. So that's what the exercise is focused around. However, there's a big misconception that we're ballet and we are not. So.
Gotcha. So what you're telling me is, like, an old guy like me has got to figure out how to get my ankle up on a bar and stretch my something like that.
we give you modifications. Don't worry. Flexibility is the focus.
Great. Okay. when we're healthier times, we'll have to come down and visit. Of course,
Absolutely.
yeah, Krystal Toro here is the owner of SoFit Cycle. That I understand a little bit better. All right, so the virus is spiking, and you've already suffered from a shutdown early in the year, right? So you got that problem from March on. We'll talk about the pause here in a second. Jaime, you shut down in March, correct?
Correct. We shut down about 4 days before it was mandated, just because we saw where everything was headed and wanted to get a jump start on our live stream platform.
Oh, okay. So an alternative way of doing some business. People are exercising or doing, what would be the proper term? Exercising, working out, what are they doing?
Either or, exercising, working out at home.
Okay, so you've been able to transfer the business. That was smart of you to get ahead. Did you do anything like that in the early spring or now with the pause for the cycle business?
Sorry, Dan, you cut out.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Krystal. Have you been able to do any kind of remote application for the bike? I mean, it's not like people own a lot of. They come to your studio because your very expensive bikes are there. I mean, I have one.
Yeah.
I remember I paid $1,200 for it many years ago, so it's not cheap, right?
That's a deal, actually. Yeah. Same like Jaime. We shut down. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. March 17th. I think that was probably about 4 or 5 days or so prior to us being mandated. Went remote. That was a challenge because music, I'm sure Jaime had the same issues, but we are doing a virtual option right now.
Okay, all right. It certainly is not, it doesn't cut the mustard. We know that. It's all triage at this point. You were shut down March through when?
We opened, I forget, Jaime, when she let us open, but we opened June 20th.
Okay. Ballpark, same thing?
I believe it was early June. She allowed us to reopen, but we also waited, and I believe we opened the 22nd. So,
all right. So you
right
went from March, so same kind of schedule. You went from March through middle June, and you've been, working with the social distancing parameters ever since. The virus spikes, and 2.5 weeks ago, the governor put you on a pause. Specific businesses are targeted here. We spent a lot of time on the Max Fitness Club's decision not to close, which caused the governor and the health department to go to court to get a restraining order on them, which was successful. That was a case that was supposed to come to the court this past Monday, but an agreement between the parties extends past the pause extension, meaning if the pause goes further than December 21st, he's going to go back into court looking to pull witness testimony from the health director and the governor on what is the current argument, and that is whether or not your kinds of businesses are dangerous in COVID. Before we get to the economics here, Jaime, do you have a thought about that? Are you also of the mindset that it's wrong-headed to have you closed?
I am. I understand the surging cases. I understand the value of human life above all else. However, the science behind handpicking which industries are set to shut and which are not without providing the scientific basis for it is what I can't accept or sit with. I feel like had she shut the entire state and said, this is what we need to do, not that that's what I want, it's not, or something like that, it would be easier to get behind the decision she came to. But shutting an industry that hasn't contributed to the spread in the first place certainly isn't going to mitigate it.
Yeah. Krystal?
Absolutely everything Jaime just said. I mean, because we were handpicked, made it harder. I think she says that we're high risk. That would be easy to accept if the data supported it. The Department of Health has said from June 1st to August 16th, there was 44 cases linked to gyms in Rhode Island, and there is no data from August 16th onward. I've had 0 cases. I think Jaime and many of us can say we've had 0 cases linked back to us. So if the data supported your high risk statement, I think we would all be on board, but it does not.
Yeah. All right. So that's going to be that may be meted out in court should this pause be extended. I don't know where we're going to be, to be honest with you. You know, the governor called it for
Yeah.
2 weeks, and she. This is executive authority, man. This is a one-person show right now, and it seems like when it comes to the health departments, it feels like a gut check more than it does a data-based decision. All right, so we've got that issue, and we'll play it by ear for next week. When we come back, though, the 3 weeks that you've been out of business are supposed to be mitigated by grant compensation. We'll talk about where you've been with that when we come back with our business owners in the health and fitness industry. Stay with us. With our fitness industry folks who are in the pause, Jaime Sweeney has purebar.com. It's a unique, health business group classes, working on all sorts of things, low impact, but high value. I'm going to learn more about that as it goes. Krystal Toro, Fit Cycle, and you'll see the websites here on the screen. You should check them out, both now and when things get better. All right, look, long story short, what is the quick synopsis, Jaime, on what you're doing with the grants? You applied, I'm guessing, for the pause money. Were you able to get any money early on from the $50 million initial fund?
I wouldn't call it early on, considering we were closed March to June, and the first time we were able to get any sort of grant money from the state was end of August, early September. So at that point, we'd been responsible, for full bills up until that point. And the money we did get from that grant, I'll never look a gift horse in the mouth, but it was pretty much Band-Aid over a bullet hole type of situation in terms of how it helped us.
All right. So, Krystal, your story. Did you get any? Listen, there's 2 groups of money. Well, listen, there's 17 groups of money, and that's why this is a big problem.
Right.
For it. But after the Small Business Coalition really banged the governor hard on this, she ignored them, but came up with a $50 million program in July, and now there's a $50 million pause program. Neither one has fully flushed out the dough, which shows you the incompetence of the administration, because in this stage of the economic game, there's no way that you wouldn't be able to just suck that money right into the economy. It's just, so they're having trouble. This $50 million pause money is as slow, it seems. What about you, Krystal? Have you been able to access that dough?
Yeah, so we have 2 pending grants right now and $0 to show for them. So the Restore Rhode Island grant, I know that it says the maximum we can get is $5,000, and just to be completely honest, that's maybe month's rent. The pause grant money is different, and I didn't get, Jaime, like a email like confirmation. It literally just says thank you for your survey, and that's it. That's all we know, Dan.
Right. Well, they had a very complicated application in the Restore Rhode Island grant in the summer. That's the $50 million. The first.
Yes.
The next one is like a Survey Monkey thing. They're just throwing it up into, they're trying to simplify the process by making you completely puzzled, as if when you clicked off, you wondered if they even heard you, right? I mean, that's kind of where you are.
Like, so, didn't actually submit.
Right. So officially, neither one of you even know if you've been confirmed that a check is in the mail. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, that kind of speaks for itself. I only have a couple of minutes here. Krystal, you have a final thought and a message for the governor during this pause regarding the grant at all?
Yeah, she stood up there so eloquently, and she said it's going to be significant, quick, and easy. And that's not the case. And so when you say $100 million, you're giving the impression that we're being taken care of, and we're not. There needs to be a plan, and it needs to be better than this one. But we need to be transparent with the public, because we are all in survival mode right now with no help, when being mandated to shut our livelihood, not our hobby, our livelihood.
Understood. Jaime, your thought?
Yeah, I mean, exactly what Krystal said. And adding on to that, she said shut down for the promise of being taken care of. And now we're in a position where it almost feels like we're begging for scraps, whereas we don't want a handout. We would prefer to be open and operating in the capacity that we had been. And you see the private sector bleeding, whereas the public sector is remaining fully funded. Not that I want them defunded, they're an incredibly important sector as well, but the dichotomy between the two is just hard to get behind.
Yeah, really important at that point. For those of you viewers out there thinking, well, these people just want a money grab. Well, entrepreneurs just entrepreneurs want to earn. Entrepreneurs are not walking around with their hands out. But you shut entrepreneurs down, what are entrepreneurs supposed to do? It's what it is. Well, listen, we'll stay in touch on both the radio and the television over the course of the next week or two. Certainly next week is going to be key right up through Christmas and the holidays. You got to get back to business. Never mind getting a check, and we'll follow up on both. Well, thank you for sharing your experiences, and hopefully the attention will help the momentum. All right.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Jaime Sweeney, purebar.com is her website, and Krystal Toro, sofitcycle.com. Check them out and work out with them now and in the future. It's good for all of us. A final word and we come back. Stay with us. No word on whether grant money is coming, no confirmation, and no guarantee that they're getting back into business next week. Tough place to be if you're trying to make people happy and healthy with your business. We'll continue to follow the Dan Yorke Show weekdays 3 to 6 on WPRO and back here tomorrow night. Thanks for tuning in. Good night.